Hello, this is Olga Jevtich. I'm Miss Virginia Senior America and I'm a fashion designer. Thank you very much for tuning in, and this is Fashion Notes. We had a very cool spring, so flowers were in bloom longer, and now summer is coming, and I'm sure with heat and humidity. While we are enjoying the pretty flowers and outdoor living, runways are busy with new fall things. It will take a little bit of longer to go to the fall fashion, but primarily let's enjoy summer and bright colors, beach, barbecue, outdoor soirees. Think brooch again. This season, getting gorgeous for the beach is an absolutely must. Metallics are very hot. Gold and silvers are perfect complements for the sun and sand. Think tunic, very practical. They can serve as a beach cover-up and over the jeans. Roberto Cavalli, he had in his couture collection very sparkly cover-ups for summer days. If you did buy flowery dress this spring, you can continue to wear with the tights in the fall, especially opaque ones. This is going to be a big trend for upcoming season. For fall, designer looked at Eastern Europe for influence. Think about rich velvet, fur flourished, and metallic brocade to fit for a Zarina. Oscar de la Renta is showing Russian flavor embroideries on red velvet skirt. Some designers are showing muffs and mink-trimmed velvet coats. Definitely lots of Slavic feel. Russians live in the winter for 8 months a year, and they're starved for bright embellished things. They put sunshine into their clothes. I think this is very exciting. Yves Saint Laurent in fall of 1976 was inspired by Ballet Russe. Now, Vanderbilt jeans are back. She came in the 70s with casual to disco-worthy jeans. In 80s, minimalism faded popularity, so Vanderbilt sold the company to Jones Apparel Group in 2002. But her brand lacked the flair it once had. Now most sought-after models are wearing it with silk satin tops and platform heels. Best summer makeup. Show some shimmer. Protect your face but not staying long in the sun. Use bronzer. Surprisingly, blue eyeliner has a moment of the season. Small dose of navy, turquoise, or blue, green combination with the metallic is very sexy to wear. Go for a bronze. Healthy skin is beautiful at any age, and bronzer get the look without the damage. Use lip gloss. Look for bright colors and pretty pinks. Nothing beats blush for a radiant color of your skin. Bathing suits come in all colors and shapes. Especially I like one in stretch jersey and satin. What about the wrap over the bathing suit? Well, Versace came up with a dramatic color print terry cloth robe. Michael Kors showed tiger prints with turquoise beading worn with large multi-tier choker, jewel sandals, large tote, and straw hat. It makes you want to live on the beach forever. Also flattering, white is everywhere in natural fabrics such as linen and cotton, goes draped or twisted. If you buy the best of the season cover-up and cleverly swimwear and shorts, loading up on necklaces and bangles with oversized shades, big bag, and flattering cork on your feet, summertime living can be easy for all ages and sizes. Have a pleasant shopping. Speaking of shopping, you can go to Torpedo Factory and find all kind of shopping. I have a lady, looks like, as I said before, that I'm falling in love with Torpedo Factory. because there you have about 160 artists. They even work there, so you can actually see how they work and sell their wear. Lady that's sitting next to me is my guest today that I met at the Torpedo Factory. Her name is Cindy Brand, and she is also multi-talented. And she would like to show you her wear, beautiful things that she does. She never stops, and she says she never sleeps. I don't believe it, but she really puts so much time in her design. Welcome to the show, Ms. Brandt, and thank you for coming, taking time to come so our viewers can see what you are doing. And I always have to underline that we have so many talented people in Washington area, and you have to believe me, because they are doing wonderful things. You don't have to travel anywhere. You can buy everything here, from jewelry to beautiful scarves to clothing to ceramics and all kind of things. So, Ms. Brand, show me all these beautiful things what you do.
Well, first of all the fabric here starts out white, and what I do is I paint with dyes.
Can you imagine this being just white, and now it's not white anymore? No, it's a beautiful corals and oranges and yellow. It's unbelievable. How do you make it, to be stretched?
This fabric comes as a stretch fabric,
like that.
And so I've just dyed. I've made the scarf. I've edged the scarf, and now what I'm doing is to make it a little unique.
Do you edge it on machine?
Yes, with a serger.
And do you do different colors, and they try to make a complementary color to edge?
It depends what I'm doing. In this case, I was trying to make it the same color, so it was hidden. But I'm trying to use the complementary color to accent it.
So you all these, little silk
pieces of silk
you sew by hand.
That's right. Well, actually, I used a machine, but I
Don't
added
tell
on.
anybody.
I added it on to make it jump with the complementary color. And I often try to take my regular scarves and do something unique. This is an example of a scarf. This is fabric left over from dresses I make, and made it into this.
You can wear also. You can wear also. That's okay. That's fine. That's okay. Just that's fine. And also you can put this, on something very plain, and you dress it up your whatever you are wearing. Or if you have a dress with the same fabric, you can just just complete the outfit.
Well, it was fun to do something different. I did two different scarves made out of material that were left from dresses that I made.
Is this that you already?
This is another. This was also another hand painted with dyes. Nothing's immersed. Everything's painted with dyes. I either stretch it on a frame or lay it on a board to dye it.
Do you dry it afterwards?
It has to be steamed. All dyes must be steamed because it's actually changing the chemical, the molecule of the fabric. Unlike paint, which sits on the top of the surface, dye is embedded in the molecule. So you'll see it on both sides. But to get that molecule to accept the dye, it's a special dye for that fiber, so it has to be a silk dye, and it's steamed for sometimes an hour, sometimes longer, to be able to make it so when you wash it,
How did you learn this craft? How long? Myself. Or just by trying and error?
A lot of it. I taught myself books. I've taken workshops, but most of what I do, I've taught myself.
I see.
And I experiment a lot. The other fabrics I really want to show you is what I'm wearing, and I have maybe 7 different ways of dyeing. One of the other things I'm doing is this is actually printed with dyes. The same as with the jacket I'm wearing. These are some ties. I do scarves as well. And what is happening
is perfectly done.
In the tie, I have them made for me after I do the fabric.
Of course, this is unisex. You can wear it, and the ladies wear scarves, and the ties too. It could be very stylish, with a suit, and it will look really very, very nice. And of course, men. So you can, have in your closet, so both you and your husband can wear it, which is a very versatile thing to have.
And this is printed with dyes. I actually use a silk screen, sort of like Andy Warhol, but his screen, he would just change the colors. I actually put my dye on the screen, so every pass of the screen changes. So I can do something like this, and it sort of disintegrates. And I like the effect that I get, and it's a very unique effect.
Yes.
I call it mono screening. And I took a workshop, and she taught something similar to this, and I've worked it out myself and done more with it than different from what I was taught. So it's sort of a look I like because I think of disintegrating barn doors or something.
Yes, it is interesting colors.
The other fabrics, this is a technique called dévoré or burnout, where I'll show you this one.
It
starts as white fabric, and it's
white.
a very different fabric. The fabric is specifically designed for this process. The background is silk chiffon. The foreground is rayon satin. Silk is a protein, animal fiber, likes an acid environment. Rayon is a cellulose, plant-based fiber.
And how do you glue it?
Nope. No, it's burnout. It's called dévoré, the French word for burnout. And an acid is used to burn through the background. So in this case, I've put wax to keep the fabric. I took a stamp of a leaf. In this case, I just used a brush.
Do you need some special machine to do it?
No, just have to steam it. To do the burnout, it has to be ironed, and heated with an iron, and then washed. But to do
you can wash it?
Everything here has been through the washing machine.
Is that right?
I would never be able to hand wash all my fabrics. I wash everything through the machine. I don't recommend my customers because I know exactly what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And although some things can be machine washed, but
I'm
washing a large volume, right?
You know,
but it all can be washed, absolutely. Everything's been steamed, so the dyes are set. This is another example of the dévoré, but I've used a brush to get the effect. And so it burns through, and I have a different color.
This is really interesting. Oops, excuse me.
And you have, this is the,
no, this
it
is
has
the
an
right
ombre.
side.
This is, you can tell I've stretched it because it goes from a green to a
blue,
light violet.
And
a lot of my scarves do that. This is the one, hard to show you this, but this one, I call it an ombre. It is an ombre, where it goes from the golds to the reds.
Red and brown.
Now, the background of this is black. Because of the different fibers, I could dye the background.
Was this fabric originally black or white?
This was white. And
it's hard to believe that it's
background,
white. What
the background
you can do
is dyed,
with it just white?
Well, now I can buy it in black, but before I couldn't. So this was dyed black. This was dyed to the back. But the background is the silk fiber. So a silk dye is used to dye the background, and then a different different dye is used for the foreground.
Wow, but not just because that. Look at this, glass pieces that she's doing. I would like you to show this.
Well, this is what I'm doing now. I'm doing lamp-worked beads, which are done with a torch and a rod of glass. And all the pink beads I've done, I have purchased the little violet leaves.
Oh, you purchased this?
Just those little ones. But these are all hand done, and I've done with flowers on. This is a hollow bead with flowers on it. And I mentioned to you earlier that I'm in a gallery, as well as in my studio in the Torpedo Factory. The gallery is the Fiber Gallery, Potomac Craftsman. But everything in that gallery has to be fiber.
So you get away with, you have to add some fiber.
So I have silk beads and glass beads. These are again hollow beads. It's my way
cleverly done
to get those in there. And this is more typical of the glass beads that I do.
Earrings?
These are earrings, and they're done with again with the torch. But I also do fused glass work, and this is an example of the fused glass. I do things as well as jewelry. I do plates and wall pieces.
Is this like a pin?
This is an example of the
pin?
This is a pin of a fused glass pin.
So you do it in different colors, the glass.
I do, and this is done in a kiln. In this case, what was done was lots of little pieces of glass were mixed together.
So you have to bake it in the kiln?
It's baked in a kiln. It's 1600 degrees.
How long?
And, well, it's not the length of time. It has to go up very slowly and come down very slowly because glass will crack. So the process takes 24 hours.
Do you have some accident that actually they crack while they're in the kiln?
I have, yes. And usually because I've washed it and haven't waited a long enough time for the water in there to
So they get, to be very fragile.
Right. It's the steam. The steam inside will burst it if you haven't been careful. And if you don't take it up slowly enough and slowly
So there are so many little things that you have to really know how to do it, because it's not, you just cannot read instruction and just go ahead and do it. You have to really experiment and make mistakes and try to do your best. I think we have a model too. Let's see, Miss Gloria, she's going today, she was a model, our model, and this is a very, very dressy piece.
This is again the dévoré that I spoke about, the burnout. Those leaf patterns, that is the typical silk screening technique where I'm screening the acid. And the black is actually seeing through the satin to the black silk underneath.
It just changes the color. So while she walks, and the colors are changing, it depends on the light. They're changing from like a gold to red.
Right. Well, that's the ombre again. And this garment is called a ruana, which is a Central American garment that is usually woven out of alpaca. But when it's done out of this fiber, it's a different
but they
look.
don't, they don't make it, probably Rwanda that dressy. They make it, for warmth, in practicality. But this is more like a, very dressy piece, which you can put over your, just a plain black pants or plain black, beige, whatever, any color dress, and dress it up and look very, glamorous. And you have something very unique. Not everybody. Do you make like lots of these pieces?
Yes, that's my most popular garment that I make.
That people like, because it's, it's easy to pack. You can put in a suitcase. It doesn't take any room, but it makes a big impact. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you very much. This is very lovely. So as you can see, she is multi-talented lady. She does silks, she does scarves and garments and jewelry, and in glass. This is absolutely another media that she's into it. So she has a studio in Torpedo Factory, and also she works there, and also she has things in Potomac Craftsman, like this necklace that she cleverly combined with the fabric, so that she be she could display there, because everything there, it has to be fiber
or fiber technique.
Fiber technique. So as you can see, such a wealth, and then I would like you to thank her very much for coming today, showing us. And this is Olga Jevtich reporting for Fashion Notes. Till next time, thank you very much for tuning today, and Cindy Bright for coming today and showing us her beautiful creation. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you here today.
I appreciate it.
Now, I have another lady from Torpedo Factory. This is such a treasure there. You have to go and visit these galleries and see what our artists doing there. This lady, Silvia Saborio, is my guest today, and she's going to show you her very beautiful creation. And she is also very multi-talented lady. And beside that, she's a professional lady. She's an economist by trade, but she chose to do crafts because this is much more fun, and she can do at home at her spare time. Welcome, Ms. Saborio.
Well,
thank you very much for coming here. If you look at the table, you will see all the treasure what she does. First thing I asked her, is this felt? She said, yes, it's felted. Actually, she crocheted these bags, and she has a technique to make them felted. So every of this little bag in different colors are hand done. And she put them in the washing machine, but I'm not going to tell you all the secrets because she is very unique. And you look at these all beautiful colors, like a rainbow of colors that she is doing. And they can actually brighten any outfit. How did you start working with these bags? They're really very interesting how you do it.
Well, when I started my transition from an economist to an artist, I didn't quite know
what to do
and where to start. What I knew in terms of techniques was sewing, which I sort of learned from my mother's lap, who was a very
You are originally from Costa Rica?
I'm originally from Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, where, handwork is, very ordinary thing. Everybody's doing something by hand.
That's right. And so the two things I knew were to crochet and to sew. So when I decided to give art a try, it was natural that I would be drawn to what I already knew.
That's
and
right.
Aside from that, I'm inspired by color. Being a tropical person, I guess.
Oh yeah, this really is absolutely tropical colors, yes.
And then shapes, and I'm a very tactile person. Shapes and textures, and that appeals to me. And also, I felt that I wanted to do things that I would wear myself.
That's right.
And I am a very practical person. I love accessories and stuff, but they have to be practical in their care and in their handling. So, and in my previous life, for instance, I traveled a lot. So I know about all the concerns and limitations of travelers.
Right.
So these bags, for instance, lie flat. There is not an issue with travel. They don't wrinkle. They don't anything. And if they
get from the
soiled,
suitcase,
you
then
just throw them in the washing machine, and there you are. These other bags, for instance, you may not believe, these are not felted. These are actually 100% cotton. And I was inspired by the material itself, which is beautiful. It doesn't have a front or a back.
Like an envelope
That's
style.
right. And I saw this. They were placemats. And I designed a bag out of a placemat, which is actually 3 bags in one. There's a bag on this side. There's a bag on this side.
And in between.
And there's another pocket in the middle.
I see.
And this is again, also it lies flat in your
That's right,
your
in
bag,
your suitcase,
in the
you know, you can
suitcase.
wear it.
Totally washable, doesn't take up any room. And
It does, and it
fits
can change your outfit wearing it.
completely.
And you have little, you know, gold
Findings
pieces,
and
you know,
stuff
that,
to,
you know.
as closure mechanisms.
So you have on both sides same, so you don't have to watch which is the front, which is the back, so you can really wear it on either side. So this is the style that you have in different colors, actually, red and the same
silver,
style.
the green, and I also have it in black. I didn't bring it, but I have. In other cases, I get inspired by the material. For instance, this bag, the shape was suggested by the material itself. I just traced it. I just followed the material, and a bag somehow came out.
I think that's very interesting.
And another of my
It's okay.
another of my passions are hats.
Oh, the hats! I love hats. I wear them all the time, and I find them very flattering.
I started knitting hats, but eventually I moved into actually making hats.
Do you have a pattern for hats?
Well, no. I make all of my patterns myself. I don't use any commercial patterns at all. So that takes a lot of cutting of newspaper and trial and error and things until you get it just
And
right.
also you put some pretty pin on the side, which makes a touch of
brooches
extra elegance.
That's right. And you can dress it up or down depending on the type of brooch that you put on them. The same with these bags.
So they're actually complementary to your hats?
I started making sets of hats and bags, but over time, I have sold some bags, some hats, and
they can go together. Actually,
they make a stunning statement when they go together.
And the hats that you are having, I think that you can wear them really year-round because they're not really winter or summer.
That's right.
You can wear them any time, which is good. You don't have to. You can, wear them all the time with the appropriate outfit.
No, and I make them in different materials. Some are lighter, like for the summer and stuff.
And I noticed this bag in brown also. It's like a fabric. It was like that,
The fabric
pleated.
is like that. I don't make the fabric myself. I use, so far, I have used commercial fabric. But in the future, I can see where I will do a lot of embellishing of fabric. Simply because it is very difficult to find so many appropriate and ready-made
And I think we have a model too, so she can going to show us.
Yes. I also have started making wraps.
Wraps. Oh, this is new too that you are making.
Yeah, that is an interesting design. It's a wrap that has only one arm, and the rest is loose as a shawl.
I see. And then you put some pretty pin on it.
That's right.
Here you
or
go.
You can use it without a pin. You can just wrap it in
you can just wrap it.
In any combination or position that you want. And Cindy is also showing 2 of my other bags.
So where do you have time to do it? Do you do it in the evening, or when do you work?
Well, when I started, I had continued work. I was on the executive board of the Inter-American Development Bank. But now I quit working full-time. I do some consulting. I am also an adjunct professor at Georgetown University. But more and more I am drawn into my art.
Looks
so
like
that has become sort of the central focus these days, and I have to say that I'm really, really enjoying it.
Oh, I think enjoyed it, and our viewers will probably enjoy it too. And now they know where to find you in Torpedo Factory, and like other artists there. And I would like to thank you very much for coming in today. This is Olga Jevtich reporting for Fashion Notes. Till next time, we will have some more artists and more exciting shows in the future. And I'm very thrilled that I had an opportunity to introduce you, Miss Saborio. She's from Costa Rica, where very talented people live, and she translates some of her crafts from her home here in Washington area. Well, thank you very much for coming, and thank you for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.